Welcome to the session of Transportation Engineering 2. In this class, we'll be seeing the revision on Unit 3. We'll be doing the revision on Unit 3 and we'll be looking into the important questions that can be asked from Unit 3 in our university exams. As we know that Unit 3 is mainly comprises of stages in construction of track and track maintenance things. So we'll be looking into detail in each of every aspect that can be asked from Unit 3. There will be some important questions I'll be giving from Unit 3 which are most probable that it can be asked in university exam. This Unit 3 is somewhat little bit complicated as it needs a lot of description. It mainly consists about maintenance of track. There will be different tools which are used for maintenance of railway tracks basically. So we'll look into further thing, the important questions that can be asked from Unit 3. In previous videos we have seen the revision of Unit 1 and Unit 2. After this session, after the revision of Unit 3, I will be sharing the quiz. So after watching this complete video, do attempt that quiz. So let us move. Let us see what all important questions that can be asked from Unit 3. Okay. So these are the important questions that can be asked from Unit 3. Have a look. The first question: what are different stages in construction of a railway track? What are different stages in the construction of a railway track? Next question: mention different types of maintenance tools used in maintenance of Indian Railways. In this, the answer to this question is nothing but we need to write about the tools which are used in the maintenance of a railway with diagrams or general description about those tools. Next, write in detail about screening of ballast. Next, write about maintenance of gauge. The next question: what is the necessity of maintenance of track? What is the necessity of maintenance of track? Then write the details of annual program drawn up for maintenance of sleepers. Write the detail of annual program drawn up for maintenance of sleepers. Next question: what are the requirements of a good track drainage system? What are the requirements of a good track drainage system? Write about modern methods of track maintenance. Write about modern method of track maintenance. Write about off-track dampers and on-track dampers. You need to write about these two: off-track dampers and on-track dampers. Okay. Now let us go to the answers of the following questions. So the answer to the construction stages in construction of railway track, if the answer is for 2 or 3 marks, this highlighted section is enough. If the answer is for 2 or 3 marks, this session will be enough. When it is asked for 5 marks or 10 marks, the more detailed description has to be provided. So let us see what are the different stages in construction of track. It starts with the main work involved in the construction of new railway line is the following. The first stage is nothing but land acquisition stage. Second, earthwork and bridges. The third is station buildings, staff quarters and other allied facilities including platforms and sheds. The next is plate laying, including ballasting of track. The next is opening of section to traffic. These are nothing but stages that are involved in the construction of a track. Let us see each section in detail. First one, the land acquisition. The land to be acquired should be adequate for the formation, berm and borrow pits. It should also have adequate provisions for future expansion even when a single line is to be constructed. The land available should be sufficient for the construction of a double line for future expansion. Normally, a strip of 25 to 35 meters of land is acquired for the construction of a railway line. For station yards, an extra width of land is required. For small stations, the width normally adopted is 150 by 1000 meters. This much description is enough. If it's for 5 marks, this description is enough. But if it's for 10 marks, again we need to describe in detail. The minimum land to be arranged should conform the following. Width of formation. The land should be adequate to accommodate the width of formation. The next, side slope. The side slope depends on the nature of the soil and is normally taken as 2:1, horizontal is to vertical. Side slope. It is taken as 2:1, horizontal is to vertical. Width of berm. The usually width of berm is kept at 3 meters. Borrow pits. If the land is not very costly, adequate land should be made available for borrow pits. Also, borrow pits may be on one side of the track of low bank and both sides of medium and high banks. When the land is costly, borrow pits need not be provided and the earth can be borrowed from adjoining areas. Extra land is however required for station yards, level crossing and bridge approaches. So this was all about land acquisition, which is nothing but first step of stages in construction. It was all about the first step. Now earthwork and bridges. Earthwork and bridges formation. The formation may be an embankment or a cutting depending upon the rail level and generally contour of the area. A formation in an embankment is normally preferred from the point of view of a good drainage. The height of the embankment also depends upon the high flood level of the area and the reasonable freeboard is provided above this level. Some points worth noting with regard to this description is enough for 5 marks. If it's for 10 marks, we need to elaborate more. Some points worth noting with regard to the specification of earthwork as follows. Earthwork is normally done in 30 cm deep layer so that soil is well compacted. Mechanical compaction is normally done after each layer with the help of a sheep foot roller to obtain 90% of the maximum dry density at optimum moisture content. Remember, we need to use sheep foot roller. Layer should be of 30 cm deep. The shrinkage allowances of 5% is made from the final cross section of consolidation. In the case of mechanical compaction, for other type of compaction, the shrinkage allowance is 10%. When the soil is not good, a 30 cm thick blanket is provided at the top of the embankment. When the soil is not good, a 30 cm thick blanket is provided at the top of the embankment. In areas where there are both cutting and embankments, the earth from the cutting should be used for the embankments up to the economical lead. The economical lead of moving earth is horizontal direction is determined by mass Hall curve. For cutting an embankment, we will be using Maas-Hall curve. Then next, when we talk about bridges, bridges should be designed for the heaviest locomotive likely to pass that section, depending upon the topography of the country and the type of stream to be crossed. Hump pipe culverts, reinforced cement slab bridges, plate girders and pre-stressed concrete girder bridges or steel bridges are desired. Next, service building and staff quarters. These are normally, this building has to be constructed. Then plate laying or track linking. This is important. Once the formation is ready, plate laying or track linking is required. It consists of laying rails, sleepers and fastening. The following methodology is adopted for plate laying. First method, which is likely to be used, is tram line method. There are three methods basically: tram line method, American method and telescopic method, in plate laying. This plate laying is further divided into three methods. We can use any one of that method. That is nothing but tram line method, American method and telescopic method. Let us see what these all three methods say. In tram line method, when we talk about tram line method, in this method, a temporary line known as tram line is laid by the side of the proposed track for taking track materials to the site. This is nothing but the main principle of this tram line method. This method is useful in flat terrain where laying the train or natural ground may be comparatively easier. This method is, however, seldom used in practice. When we talk about American method, in American method, rails and sleepers are first assembled in the base depot and pre-assembled track panels are taken to the site with the necessary cranes, etc. It's like precasting. Already whole setup with sleepers, rails, fastening and fittings are fitted at one place. Okay, that will be transported through cranes. Ready-made inbuilt things will be placed. So this is all about American method. Telescopic method. Okay, this method is widely used on Indian Railways. Our Indian Railway use this telescopic method. The method used by Indian Railways is nothing but this method is widely used on Indian Railways. Which method? Telescopic method. In this method, the rail, sleepers and other fittings are taken to the base depot and unloaded. The track material is then taken from the railhead and the track is linked and packed. The railhead is then advanced up to the extent of laid track. The track material is then taken up to the advanced railhead with the help of a dip lorry, or the track is again linked at the packed. In this way, the railhead goes on advancing till the full track is linked. The main operation involved are as follows. Unloading of materials. The track material is taken to the base depot and unloaded with the help of the main methods involved in telescopic method is unloading of materials. The one is unloading of materials. And next is track linking. Unloading of materials and track linking. Track linking. Once the track material is unloaded, the track is linked with the help of linking gangs. The following procedure is normally adopted. These are the series of things which are followed. Then we will talk about track packing. Track packing is then thoroughly packed with the help of beaters by packing in gangs. The following aspects should be checked. First one, the track should have a proper gradient. The track should have proper curvature. If it's on a curve, The cross levers should be even. The super elevation is to be provided. The outer rail should be raised so as to have the recommended super elevation. The track should be thoroughly packed and no spaces should be left. Then last is about ballasting of track. The ballast is normally spread on the railway lines after the embankment has settled well and at least 2 monsoons have passed over it. Ballasting is generally done with the help of a ballast train which have special hoppers through which the ballast can be automatically unloaded onto the track. Alternatively, the ballast is carried on the cess and then laid on the track manually. Using either method, the ballast is thoroughly packed and inserted under the track. And this was all about stages in the construction of railway track. This was the answer to different stages in the construction of a railway track. If it's for short marks, this description is enough. If it's for 5 or 10 marks, the above answer has to be written by proper length. Now let us say this was the answer to the different stages in the construction of railway track. Now let us see our next question. What is our next question? Our next question is about mention different types of maintenance tools used in the maintenance of Indian railways. Mention different types of maintenance tools used in the maintenance of Indian railways. So the different types of maintenance tool used in the maintenance of Indian railways. These are here we have measuring equipments. We did not require measuring requirements. Here the question is about types of maintenance tool. So look here, maintenance tool. Look at over here, maintenance tool. We have different types of maintenance tools that are used in Indian railways. The first one is nothing but sleeper tongue. Sleeper tongue. Why the sleeper tongue are used? To carry the sleepers. The next is rail tongue, to fit and carry rails. What it is used? Rail tongue is used. Then we have beater. What is the function of beater? To pack ballast under the sleeper. To pack ballast under the sleeper, what is used? Beater is used. The next is crowbar. What is the function of crowbar? To correct track alignment and to lift the track of surfacing. Cloth crowbars are used for taking out dog spikes. This is the function of nothing but crowbar. Then we have Jim Crow. Again, Jim Crow is divided into two: spiking hammer and keying hammer. Okay. So what is the function of Jim Crow? To bend or break the rail. What is the use of spiking hammer? To drive spikes. Keying hammer to drive keys. Okay. Spanner to tighten the bolts. Wire claw or ballast ray to draw or pull out the ballast while screening, packing, etc. Paura, that is nothing but shovel to cut earth or to put out the ballast. Auger to bore holes in wooden sleepers. Box spanner for drawing rail screws or plain screws. Wire basket for screening the ballast. Pan iron motor for leading earth or ballast. So these were nothing but the maintenance tool used in Indian railways. I'll show the diagram of maintenance tools also. For safer side, we can draw the diagrams also. Look at this. So here we have talked about sleeper tongue, rail tongue, beater, crowbar. This can be described well with diagrams. See, this is nothing but sleeper tongue. This is nothing but rail tongue. See here we have seen maintenance tool, sleeper tongue, rail tongue. These are the diagrams for the following. If you support the above answer with diagram, it will be more useful. Sleeper tongue, rail tongue, beater. Look at this beater, spanner, Jim Crow, shovel, ballast rake. Look at the diagrams. If you support the answers, theoretical answers, the maintenance tool with the diagram, it will be more impactful. So now let us move to our next question. Write in detail about screening of ballast. Our next question is about screening of ballast. So our question was about write in detail about screening of ballast. So let us see what all has to be included in screening of ballast. This generally I have given the length for long 5 marks answer. You can elaborate it for 10 marks, or you can shorten it for 2 or 3 marks. Deep screening of the ballast is done to ensure that clean ballast cushion of the required depth is available below the lower half of the sleepers, which is necessary for providing the proper drainage and elasticity to the track. In the absence of clean ballast cushion of the desired depth, track geometry may get disturbed, affecting the performance of the track. Deep screening is normally carried out under speed restrictions without obtaining the traffic block. It is desirable to proceed with deep screening in a direction opposite to that of traffic. An adequate quantity of ballast, the necessary equipment and tools, and the required labor should all be arranged well in time. The work should not be carried out during monsoon. The procedure for deep screening is as follows. There are various steps. A group of 4 sleepers are tackled at one time in a sequence. The ballast from spacers, this is followed by a diagram. In this criteria, they are talking about that above diagram. A group of 4 sleepers are tackled at one time in sequence, as shown in figure. Each of the sleepers is tackled individually. You can read this and you can summarize it in your own terms, and you can write it over. No need of exact terms to be used over here. The ballast from spaces A and B is removed right down to the formation, and wooden blocks are put into the place to support the track. Precautions are to be taken to avoid digging out the consolidated top of the formation. The ballast is removed from under sleeper 1 screen placed at the same sleeper track. Wooden block is removed from sleeper A. We are talking about this. Need not write all this in detail, but you have to summarize these points in your answer. This from A to J points has to be summarized. In your own terminology. Deep screening is done under a speed restriction of 15 km per hour. Deep screening is done under the restriction of 15 km per hour. The speed can be released to normal speed in the following ways. The first one, manual packing. The manual packing 4 times in succession and by picking up slacks over a period of 21 days. Machine packing. Packing with the help of the machine By tamping the track thrice followed by picking up slacks over a period of 10 days. So this was all about screening of ballast. Now I'll write about maintenance of gauge. The answer for maintenance of track gauge, maintenance of track is different, maintenance of track gauge is different. Okay, this maintenance of track gauge comes under maintenance of track only, but when it is asked separately to talk about maintenance of gauge, it is different thing. Okay, a variety of track gauge exists to measure the track gauge. This instruction will give reading accurate to 1 mm when used properly. The gauges must sit properly on the railhead and must be square across the forefoot. The squareness of the gauge can be judged by eye and will be the smallest reading. When the movement under traffic is suspected, a dynamic gauge should be used. This will measure how the static gauge is increased by passing trains. It is fitted before the train passes over the reading and taken after. They record the maximum gauge reading which occurred as the train passed. All track gauges must be insulated to prevent disruption of track circuits. Some inappropriate other features such as cross level or check rail gauge. The track gauges should be regularly checked for accuracy in accordance with their local procedures. Track gauge should not be confused with gauge setting bars. This is a tool comprising a rod with 2 straws which is used as a separator when setting 2 running rails as gauge. This is one of the This is gauge setting bar. This is nothing but these are nothing but track gauge instruments used to measure the track gauge. And we have also track recordings also to check. Track recording vehicle is also measured dynamic gauge. Reported faults must be investigated, confirmed and corrected. So by track recording and track gauge, the maintenance of track gauges are done. So our next question is, what is the necessity of maintenance of a track? For this we have proper points has to be written. What is necessity of maintenance of track? Let us see the answer to this. So necessity and advantages of track maintenance or necessity of maintenance of the track. This is the following answer to it. The railway track should be maintained properly in order to enable trains to run safely at a higher permissible speed and to provide passengers a reasonable level of comfort during the ride. Track maintenance become a necessity due to the following reasons. First, due to the constant movement of heavy and high speed trains, the packing under the sleeper becomes loose, the track geometry gets disturbed. The gauge alignment and longitudinal as well as cross levels of the track thus get affected adversely, and the safety of the track is jeopardized. Due to the vibrations and impact of high speed trains, the fittings of the track some undone and there is a heavy wear and tear of the track and its components. The track and its components gets worn out as a result of weathering effect of rain, sun and sand. So this was all about necessity of maintenance of track. Now let us see our next question. What is next question? The next question is about writing details of annual program drawn up for maintenance of sleepers. We need to talk about annual program of maintenance of sleepers. So this is nothing but annual program drawn up for maintenance of sleepers, or it can be the question is same for this question can be same for annual program drawn up for maintenance of track. In track only the sleeper comes. So we'll write about this annual program, detail about annual program drawn up for the maintenance of sleepers. Post monsoon for about 6 months after the end of monsoon, pre-monsoon for about 2 months prior to the break of monsoon, during the monsoon for about 4 months. So total 12 months plan is given over here. That's what annual program in the sense for 12 months. 6 to 4, it will be 12 months. This following figure or table gives the detailed description on the annual maintenance of the program. That is post monsoon thing. Normally 2 to 4 days in a week should be devoted to cleaning sites and catch water drains, earthwork repairs and cess, clearing waterways and picking up the slacks. Normally systematic maintenance should be carried out during the remaining days. Attention given to the track as required. This will consist primarily of picking up slacks and attention to the side and catch water drains and waterways. During abnormal heavy rains in the line should be patrolled by the gangs in addition to regular monsoon patrolling. This was for annual program done for the maintenance of sleepers or maintenance of the track. Next question. We need to answer about the requirements of a good. What are the requirements of a good track drainage system? Requirements for a good track drainage system. The following measure will ensure the track drainage system gives a good performance. Maintain proper cess level. Tracks on embankments get drained as long as the proper cess levels are maintained and the blast is clean. However, in cutting and in yards where water cannot recede freely and quickly from the track, a well-planned drainage system. No vegetation. There should be no growth of vegetation in the track, as this indicates clogging of the ballast and lack of adequate track drainage. Such stretches of track should be overhauled and deep screened. The ballast should be clean so that rainwater can easily flow out of the track. Area below the rail foot to be clear, about 25 to 30 About 25 to 50 mm of the area below the rail foot should be kept clear for any ballast, earth or cinder or all lines inside outside the yard. This will enable good surface flow as well as avoid corrosion and failure of track circuits. Cleaning and repair of drain. All drains should be cleaned and repaired as a part of annual thorough packing, not only on run-through lines but also on all other running lines in yards. This was all about requirements of good track drainage system. Now I'll talk about modern methods of track maintenance. So about the modern method of track maintenance. Modern method of track maintenance employ track machines and other modern track equipments for the maintenance of track as opposed to the traditional methods of manual packing. The methods used generally are the following. The first, mechanized maintenance of track with the help of track machine, is nothing but first modern method, mechanized maintenance of track with the help of track machines. Second is measured shovel packing. Third, directed track maintenance, which is maintenance based on need. Particularly here, direct track maintenance is done by MSP. MSP is nothing but measured shovel packing. This method, the emphasis is not only on modern maintenance techniques but also on identification and rectification of defects. The implementation of proper quality control in a systematic manner and the use of proper tools and equipments. This is about modern methods of track maintenance. The next question is about write about off-track tampers and on-track tampers. You need to write about off-track tampers and on-track tampers. Off-track tampers. Off-track tampers are portable and can be easily taken off by the track by just two people. These tampers work during the interval between the passage of trains, do not require any traffic blockage. They consist of tools driven by compressed air, electricity or petrol. There are generally two types of tampers, namely self-contained tampers and those that are worked from a common power unit. Tampers may be vibratory or of the friction type of a combination of both. In the vibratory type, tamping achieved is by vibration as well as by the weight of the hammer itself, while in friction type, tamping is achieved by imparting blows. The important off-track tampers tried on Indian Railways are Cobra tamper, Jackson tampers, Seaboura tampers and Kango tampers. When we talk about on-track tampers are self-propelled vehicles which facilitate automatic tamping of sleepers through the control provided in the operator's cabin. Heavy on-track tampers weigh 20 to 30 tons and cannot be easily removed from the track. It is therefore vital that the work be done after putting up the necessary traffic blocks. However, the tamper can be put off the track using special equipment provided that there are adequate bank extensions available. The tampers can automatically and simultaneously perform the task of lifting, aligning, leveling and tamping. On American railroads, a sleeper is referred to as tie. Therefore, since on-track tampers are used for tamping sleepers or ties, they are also called tie tamping machines. They are also called as tie tamping machines. So these are generally on-track tampers, which you can see onto your screens. Squeezing of ballast. The principle of working of on-track tampers, tie tamping machines are described below. This is nothing but on-track tampers. This image illustrates on-track dampers basically. Automatically the damping is done. When we talk about off-track dampers, this is the figure for off-track dampers. This is the image of off-track damper. Image of off-track damper. So it was modern methods of track maintenance. We have seen modern methods of track maintenance. This off-track dampers and on-track dampers, these are included in generally on-track dampers is included in modern methods of track maintenance. Mechanized maintenance of track with the help of track machines, measured shovel packing, directed track maintenance, which is the maintenance based on particularly if DTM is done by MSP. MSP stands for measured shovel packing, DTM stands for direct track maintenance, directed track maintenance. So this was all about if a question is asked about track drainage system, remember there are basically two types of track drainage system, that is nothing but surface drainage and subsurface drainage. If a question is asked on track drainage system, what are different types of track drainage systems or something like that, then remember that there are two: subsurface track drainage, surface track drainage and subsurface track drainage. Again, this subsurface track drainage is classified as drainage in mid-section between railway section, drainage in station yards, drainage at station platforms. Okay, thank you.